For many Floridians, access to prescription drugs is a matter of life and death. And for the state of Florida, managing drug costs is necessary to meet the public's need for health care.
Florida's legislature has been innovative in establishing public policy that seeks to rein in the cost of health care.
But what if a system that was supposed to save the state money by managing prescriptions was actually driving up costs for the state and driving down access for consumers? Enter pharmacy benefit managers, or PBMs. They are the middlemen of the pharmacy system. They don't make drugs. They don't write prescriptions, but they do decide where your prescription can be filled. An independent study on this issue analyzed more than 350 million prescription drug claims from Florida's Agency for Healthcare Administration and uncovered some alarming findings.
PBMs are not standalone entities anymore. PBMs are owned by insurance companies, or they own their own insurance companies. They also own their own mail order companies. They also own their own retail pharmacies or specialty pharmacies. So in the old days, they were supposed to contain costs in the pharmacy marketplace. Today, they actually profit off the pharmacy marketplace.
And worse, the state and consumers are paying PBM preferred pharmacies a premium.
In one case documented in the report,
A PBM paid its affiliated pharmacy $11.18 per pill, while paying a local pharmacy 53 cents and a nearby Publix pharmacy just 24 cents for the same pill.
PBMs are making the decision about who's a winner and who's a loser in today's pharmacy marketplace. So they are deciding which pharmacies will get the most patients, and they'll also decide which pharmacies are getting the most profitable patients. And what we have seen evidence of is they are steering the most profitable patients to themselves.
PBMs can also have perverse incentives that cause them to steer Medicaid patients to drugs that cost taxpayers more money.
What our analysis found was that rather than cashing in and saving money on lower net cost drugs, PBMs were essentially loading up the plate of the state Medicaid program with more expensive drugs. Taxpayers end up paying the bill for that.
And taxpayers and patients aren't the only ones who suffer under this broken system.
What happens is, PBM will set a reimbursement rate that is below the cost of a medication. And for me, that means, you would have to choose, basically, do I not dispense this medication to a patient, or do I dispense it and lose money? And that's very difficult for neighborhood pharmacies in Florida and across the country to deal with.
Many independent pharmacies, a lifeline for rural communities, have been in the same family for generations. However, since 2016, more than 270 local pharmacies have closed. That reduces access for patients across the state, and particularly in underserved communities.
Patients are affected by the PBM's practices because sometimes they are not allowed to use pharmacies in their own communities. They have to go to sometimes cities far distances away and may not have transportation to be able to get there.
Besides driving up costs, unchecked PBMs are also forcing patients to wait for prescriptions, in some cases with deadly consequences.
Young gentleman went to MD Anderson to get cancer taken care of it. They did good surgeries. Cancer was all gone. Came back to see me. We wanted to put him on medications. We prescribed it. When we prescribe oral chemotherapy, it goes to the PBM. It took 4 to 6 weeks to get started. By the time the medications arrived, he was already back in the hospital with another infection. While treating infection, his cancer came back. That gentleman ended up dying with the cancer. PBM is making a delay in the health care and costing the lives of the patients.
State lawmakers are advocating for legislation that would reform this broken system and finally put patients above profits.
The state now has to begin looking below the managed care organizations to the PBMs and the affiliated pharmacies they're tied in with and understand better what's happening to the economic marketplace for pharmacy to ensure that all of our state's providers are competing fairly in a truly free marketplace.
It's time to reform Florida's broken PBM system. Learn more at patientsAboveProfits.org.